Welcome to House Smarts. I'm Lou Manfredini. You know, it's not just big renovations that can make a difference when it comes to curb appeal. Some small tweaks and an eye for the detail can really make a difference, especially if you're getting ready to sell. Come with me. Professional stagers think about curb appeal all the time. Chris DeBoo is a member of the International Association of Home Staging Professionals.
Curb appeal is so important in today's market. It's giving that great first impression for a potential buyer. There's a lot of competition out there, so when a homeowner or a home buyer is driving up and looking at potentially 10, 12 houses in a day, when they get out of that car, they're starting to form some very important opinions about your house. Frankly, if I was going to put my own home on the market, I would have someone else come in and look at my house, because when you're living in your house, you're too close to it. So a lot of times you just don't see the things that could help you get your house ready for sale. What a home stager does is come in and gives that fresh look. Some of the common areas that I see as we're approaching a house are, first, trim all the bushes, cut the grass, weed, check those flower beds, paint the front door, make sure that front doorbell works, that the lights work, check your numbers on your address sign, make sure they're shiny. It really is about delivering a great first impression.
Nora Flaherty is the owner of From Stage to Sell. She and her team are getting this home ready for the market. Now, you're like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs here. Is this the typical amount of people you have on a job when you're staging a home?
If a project needs 2 to 15 people, we have the resources.
So you really focus on the little things when it comes to staging the outside of the home. Why is that, and what did you do here?
It's all in the details. Edging, mulching, pulling of the weeds. Later on, we'll be seal coating the driveway. There's still things that need to be done to get the house just in showing condition. Some of the most important things, the use of color through some of the flowers. Planting the flowers by the front door is a great way to draw the eye and draw a person up to the front door. We walk the perimeter of their house, all 4 sides, front, back, side to side. We need to look at what the buyers are going to look at. If there's something that we miss, that may be just the thing that causes the house not to sell. We want this to be the house that the buyer picks to choose to come see, rather than another house in the multiple listing service.
So, you know, the ultimate goal with all this home staging is to get them to come to the front door, walk right down the sidewalk, look at the beautiful flowers, the nice welcome mat, but that front door needs to look good as well. So they've fixed the trim, they've painted it, they painted the trim around the perimeter of it, and made sure that that handle is nice and tight. So if a prospective buyer shows up, they just might say, hey, this is the house.
When it came to selling my home, I didn't even know where to start, especially outside. I don't have any outdoor skills for cleaning or doing anything, so I called Nora and she took care of everything for me. I definitely think this will really sell the house. This is the best it's ever looked since I've owned it. This looks wonderful when you walk up to it, so I think they did a really good job.
Nora, as we were driving up, I noticed that this is one of the very few houses in this neighborhood that has a 3-car garage. So you really had to focus on this look, didn't you?
Absolutely. Because it's such a positive feature, we wanted to play it up by taking care of all the details on the garage also. You notice the plastic was removed from over the glass area.
Yeah.
A little fussy, and it was kind of yellowed, so the best solution was just to remove it.
Right, and it looks nice and clean and simple. You did a little painting up top, right?
Yeah, the FIPON was going off a little bit, so that was painted just to clean that up.
And you're going to address the driveway as well?
Absolutely. We don't leave any detail untaken care of.
And then when you're all done kind of staging it all, that's the picture that ends up on the multiple listing.
That's the first impression the buyers are going to see, yes.
Yeah, thanks for all your help.
Thank you.
We'll have some more advice on how you can improve your curb appeal coming up later on in the show. But all this hard work for this home means it's ready for sale. You just have to stick a sign in the front lawn. We'll now take a look at this green piece.
Green Piece is brought to you by Marvin Windows and Doors. With over 11,000 standard shapes and sizes and virtually limitless custom capabilities, Marvin is truly built around you.
If you've recently bought a TV or a computer, you've probably had the option of giving your old one back to the retailer or the manufacturer so they can reuse or recycle it in some way. We see this a lot in the electronics industry, but we found some corporations outside of it that reuse and recycle in some pretty unique ways. Athletic shoe giant Nike has their Reuse a Shoe program.
Nike collects shoes at our retail locations in the United States and Canada. We accept shoes of any brand as long as they're worn, used athletic shoes. So Nike processes the shoes we receive, and we break the shoe down into 3 parts, and it becomes Nike grind that we use to create play surfaces and athletic track surfaces. Nike started the Reuse a Shoe program in the early 1990s. Since then, we've collected nearly 25 million pairs of shoes.
If you order something from Columbia Sportswear, it'll be delivered in a reused box. They even have a website where you can track the box to see where it goes when you send it on. The program's called A Box Life. The folks at U-Haul have a reuse program at their self-storage centers.
Well, at U-Haul, we're committed to social responsibility. We try to reuse many items such as our boxes. Some people that are on tighter budgets can come here, pick up boxes from our reuse center. Any U-Haul location that you go to will have a reuse, recycle, reduce center in which people can drop off their lightly unwanted used goods that possibly would have ended up in a landfill. But that way, other families have the opportunity to use and reuse items that other families have discarded.
To find out more about this program and others, search for the word reuse at HouseSmarts TV.
A dramatic kitchen remodel designed by ASID designer Joan Kaufman. Well, she also designed the family room in the same home.
The first thing we did was take a look at what the client wanted to do in the space and have an interview with them and listen to what their needs were. Once we established what their needs were and what they wanted and their focus, we developed a plan that kind of incorporated casual elegance. The old rattan furniture was kind of a dated look. It was intended to look like a garden furniture. It was really stiff, uncomfortable. So we went with fully upholstered pieces in an old world kind of look. The tables were all one-of-a-kind pieces, and they're all made to look like antiques. One of the very first things we did was modify the existing woodwork to accommodate a flat panel screen TV, a DVD player, and all the accessories that go with it. We added some area rugs, and the owner has their own collection of artwork. They travel extensively around the world, and their son lives in Amsterdam, so many of their artwork pieces are on display in a special area that we added lighting for. We also added a mantelpiece on the fireplace to bring that down to human scale. Having a mantelpiece breaks it up a little bit. It's a stone fireplace, so it's very pretty stone, but there was nothing happening there. So there was no feature to light. By adding the mantelpiece, we could put a piece of artwork there and then add accent lighting. We got a custom door made by Marvin. They came out and measured. We had a 2-part sliding door, and they expanded it to a 3-part to bring in more lighting and allow better access. Most importantly, we added all new lighting, a lot of recessed wall washers, lighting over the artwork, softened the space overall. So everything was very comfortable. You could sit down, relax, real casual elegance in the evening.
I really like the transformation of that living room. All right, now here's some more advice for some curb appeal tips on the outside of your home. It has to do with cleanliness. Now, any realtor will tell you that the inside of your home should be as clean as possible. Well, what about the outside? That's important as well. Your best friend in the whole project is a pressure washer. You want to rent a gas-powered pressure washer with about 2,500 PSI of strength. Use it to clean the sidewalk, even the siding. But I want you to practice with it first, because if you're not careful with that tip, you can actually poke a hole in things. But if you take your time, you'll be amazed. Actually, you'll have so much fun, you'll be cleaning everybody's house in the neighborhood. And then once you do that, your home will be clean and shiny. And when prospective buyers show up, they just might buy your house. Now take a look at this.
In some yards, it can be hard to find relief from the sun, but you can shade almost any spot for a short period of time or from one season to the next. Awnings and canopies became popular in the early 1800s, but these days, you can choose from a variety of materials and designs.
We put in an awning to help cover the bar area because the barbecue's there, so this way when you're grilling, you can stay a little cooler.
Dish detergent mix, you mix it together with water, you throw it up on top, you scrub it off, and then you hose it off.
And even though it's waterproof, you do want to roll it up if there's weather, yeah?
Absolutely. Anytime there's inclement weather, you want to roll it back.
If you want shade almost anywhere in your yard, try a shade sail or a sun sail as they're sometimes called. Sails are mostly square or triangular, and they come in many different sizes and colors. They can also be custom made. You can shade a patio, pool, or lawn area for a day or a season. Setting one up is fairly simple. Attach the corners of the sail to a tree, a patio column, or your home using the hardware provided. Some come with separate posts, like this one. Now make sure it's properly tensioned so it doesn't wrinkle or flap, and if you're keeping it up for a while, install at a slope so water can run off. Pergolas are also popular and can add some architectural punch to your yard. Joining me now is Greg DiBernardo of Bergen Decks in Waldwick, New Jersey. So pergolas have an ancient history. What makes them so popular now?
They're a nice addition to put onto any outdoor project because they provide some broken shade. It lets people use their deck or their patio more because it's not so hot.
And they've become very popular lately.
Absolutely. 5 years ago, no one ever heard of a pergola, whereas now everybody asks me for a pergola.
So the one you see behind us is made out of vinyl. What are some other materials?
Traditionally, pergolas have always been made out of wood. Wood's great because we can customize it and configure it. Nowadays, we're shifting to more synthetic products like vinyl or fiberglass. This one happens to be vinyl.
Okay, so this is a pretty standard design.
Correct. This is a Potomac model from a company called Backyard America. It basically comes as an erector set, and we just screw it together. It's very, very easy to put together.
And what kind of features can be added?
The most popular thing we add is a ceiling fan for 2 reasons. Number 1, it gives people a breeze, but number 2, at night, it keeps the bugs away, which is a huge bonus. The other thing people will add is a retractable canvas awning over the top, or even rain panels that'll provide a roof over so you can entertain in the weather, in the rain, and not get wet.
The most natural choice for shading your yard, of course, is trees. What matters most is where you plant them and what kind of trees you pick, especially for your climate. Plant deciduous trees along the
In the lid. In some cases, you might be able to use a screwdriver bit and skip the pilot hole. Attach all of the lids, then flip the shelf over and reinstall it. Fill up your jars and put them in place. You can even make labels for each jar if you really want to show off.
Okay, when we come back, I have a cool tool for you and our Ask Lou segment. Don't go away.
With tornado hooks, organizing your garage is a breeze. They're the easiest, fastest way to hang almost anything, anywhere on your walls. Their special anchors screw right into drywall, whether there's a stud behind it or not. Have your garage your way. Check out tornadohooks.com.
You've seen House Smarts on TV. Now you can check it out on the web. HouseSmartsTV.com. Your direct link to House Smarts is only a click away.
People call me a home improvement expert, but I start my mower just like everyone else, one pull at a time. And if it won't start, I use Start Your Engines. It's a fuel system revitalizer that adds life to stale fuel. Start Your Engines cleans gum and varnish out of small 2- and 4-cycle engines, and it removes moisture from the fuel, preventing rust and corrosion. It's like a drain cleaner for small engines. No more hard starts or rough idling. So this season, if you want to start something, get Start Your Engines. Welcome back to House Smarts. All right, now we're talking curb appeal, right? It doesn't get much closer than this, right at the curb. This stuff drives me crazy. Look at all the weeds between the driveway and the curb. Pull all this stuff out. You can either spray some Roundup or use the weed whacker to clean it all up. You'd be amazed at how it totally finishes off the look of your house. And with the home staging, look at how simple this is. Around the mailbox, you take a little shovel, you scrape away the grass that might be there, loosen up that soil, plant some flowers, a little mulch. Look at how nice that looks. Whether you're gonna sell the house or stay put, these little bitty things really make your home look great. All right, now take a look at this cool tool.
Cool Tools is brought to you by Start Your Engine's brand fuel system revitalizer. This lawn and garden season, if your engine won't start, get smart. Use Start Your Engines.
The Tape Wrangler is a heavy-duty tape dispenser built to handle the toughest duct tapes and to keep you from struggling with tape that stuck to itself. The Tape Wrangler has a sturdy blade for a clean cut and a cover to keep you safe. Mount it under a cabinet or shelf and snap the...
Can tile be applied directly to painted drywall? So the answer to your question is yes. Thank you very much for writing. No, I'm kidding. Yes, you can apply tile to painted drywall on a vertical surface like that for a backsplash. And really, the reason you can do that is because, you know, there's no wear on it. No one's going to walk on it. You're not going to be applying any pressure to it. You may occasionally get some spaghetti sauce on there if a pot overboils or something like that. But for the most part, you're absolutely fine. One thing is, make sure